I found the love of my life on Valentine's Day unexpectedly. The rain-slicked streets of Brooklyn gleamed under the weak February sun, but inside my tiny apartment, the world felt like it was drowning. Valentine's Day. The word alone twisted in my gut like a bad espresso shot, bitter, over-roasted, leaving a scorch mark on my tongue. I was Elena Vasquez, 28, barista by day, dreamer by night, scraping by in this city that chewed up romantics and spat out cynics. My reflection in the fogged-up mirror stared back, dark curls frizzing from the humidity, brown eyes rimmed red from another sleepless stretch. Last year's breakup with Sarah still haunted me like a ghost in the steam of my espresso machine, her laughter echoing in the hiss of milk frothing, her scent of vanilla and regret clinging to my favorite sweater. I pulled on my faded jeans, the ones with the hole at the knee from too many shifts on my feet, and a black turtleneck that hid the tattoo on my collarbone. A wilted rose inked after Sarah left. Love fades, the artist had said, but I chose the wilt anyway. Symbolic, right? Or just masochistic? The air smelled of damp concrete and distant garbage trucks rumbling down Bedford Avenue, a symphony of New York indifference. My phone buzzed. Another spam text about heart-shaped chocolates. I silenced it, grabbed my keys and headed out, the door clicking shut like a final judgment. The walk to Brew Haven was automatic, my boots splashing through shallow puddles that mirrored the gray sky threatening more rain. Valentine's decorations mocked me from every storefront. Red balloons bobbing like desperate confessions, window displays of couples entwined in eternal bliss. I quickened my pace, breath fogging in the chill, the faint jingle of my keys a lonely rhythm. By the time I pushed through the coffee shop's glass door, the bell tinkled like a hesitant laugh, and the warmth hit me. Roasted beans, fresh scones, the low murmur of early risers nursing their hangovers from last night's singles mingle. "Elena, you're late," Marco called from behind the counter. His voice gravelly from chain-smoking Marlboros on break. He was pushing 40, divorced twice, with a mustache that screamed 1970s cop drama. I flashed a half-smile, tying my apron strings tight around my waist, the fabric whispering against my skin. "Traffic," I lied, though we both knew it was the weight in my chest slowing me down. The shop was already buzzing, hipsters in oversized scarves typing furiously on laptops, a mom wrangling twins with sticky fingers, and that one regular who always ordered black coffee and stared too long. I dove into the rhythm, grinding beans that released their earthy perfume, tamping grounds with a satisfying thud, pulling shots that steamed like suppressed sighs. Each pour was therapy, the crema blooming golden on the surface, a fleeting perfection before it dissolved. But today the holiday vibe seeped in like humidity. Customers gushing over cards tucked into pockets, whispers of dinner plans floating on the air. A woman in a red coat laughed too loudly at her date's joke, her hand on his knee, and I felt it stab sharp as a steam burn. Why her? Why not me? The question looped in my head, a scratched record skipping. Mid-morning rush hit like a wave, orders piling up. Venti soy latte extra foam. Chai with almond milk, hold the cinnamon. My hands moved on autopilot, calluses rough against the porcelain cups, the heat seeping into my palms like a promise of pain. Sweat beaded on my forehead, the fan overhead whirring uselessly. Then she walked in. The door swung open with a gust that carried the scent of wet pavement and something floral, jasmine, maybe, cutting through the coffee haze like a secret. She was striking. Late 20s, I'd guess, with blonde hair falling in loose waves that caught the light like spun gold, framing a face sharp with intelligence. High cheekbones, full lips curved in a thoughtful half-smile, green eyes scanning the menu with quiet intensity. She wore a tailored wool coat over slim black pants and boots that clicked authoritatively on the tile, a leather messenger bag slung across her shoulder, laptop peeking out like a trusted companion. Graphic designer my brain supplied unbidden. The kind who sketched dreams for ad agencies, turning chaos into clean lines. American through and through, East Coast polish with a hint of Midwestern warmth in her posture, unhurried yet purposeful. Our eyes met as she approached the counter. Time stuttered. The chatter faded to a hum. The espresso machine's gurgle softened to a purr. "What can I get you?" My voice came out steadier than I felt, but my heart hammered. a drumbeat against my ribs. She leaned in slightly, elbows on the counter, and the jasmine bloomed stronger, mingling with the vanilla of my lotion. Double espresso neat. And whatever you recommend for surviving Valentine's in one piece. Her smile tilted wry like she knew the joke was on us both. Up close, freckles dusted her nose, faint laugh lines crinkling at her eyes. Real ones earned from late nights and genuine joy, not Botox smiles. I chuckled, low and unexpected, the sound rumbling from my chest like distant thunder. Try the Mexican mocha. Cinnamon and chili. Spicy enough to wake you up. Sweet enough to pretend it's not another Hallmark trap. As I rang her up, our fingers brushed on the card reader, electric. A jolt that made me pull back too quick, heat flushing my cheeks. She didn't flinch, instead her gaze held, curious like she'd felt it too. Mia, she said, pocketing her card. As in Mia Harlow. And you? Elena. Simple. Exposed. The name hung between us, fragile as steam rising from her cup. While I crafted her drink, she lingered, eyes tracing the chalkboard specials, but I swear I felt her watching me. The way my curls escaped my ponytail, the ink peeking from my sleeve. The machine hissed approval as I poured, the crema perfect, a mirror to the calm I faked. Handing it over, our hands met again, deliberate this time. Her fingers cool against mine, lingering a beat too long. Thanks, Elena. This might just save the day. She settled at a corner table by the window, sunlight slanting across her notebook as she sketched. Bold strokes, purposeful. I stole glances between orders, mesmerized by the furrow in her brow, the way she bit her lip in concentration. The shop's playlist shifted to some indie folk tune, acoustic guitar strumming soft regrets, and I wondered, what breaks a woman like that? What mends her? By noon the rush ebbed, leaving a lull thick with possibility. Marco nudged me. Go chat. She's been eyeing you like you're the menu special. I rolled my eyes but poured a fresh drip coffee for myself, black as my mood had been an hour ago. Heart pounding, I approached, the floorboards creaking under my sneakers like hesitant footsteps in a dark room. Mind if I join? Slow moment. I slid into the chair opposite, the wood warm from her presence. Her eyes lit up, green as spring leaves unfurling. Please. I could use the distraction. Deadlines killing me. Valentine campaign for a chocolate brand. Irony much. She laughed, self-deprecating, the sound light but edged with fatigue, like she'd been carrying it alone too long. We talked. Easy at first, surface ripples. Her freelance gigs in Manhattan, dodging subway delays. My shifts here, dreaming of opening my own place someday. Walls lined with local art and no holiday kitsch. But the current pulled deeper. Valentine sucks, I admitted, stirring my coffee, the spoon clinking softly. Feels like the city's screaming you're alone in neon. Mia's gaze softened, vulnerability cracking her polish. Tell me about it. Last year I proposed to my girlfriend. She said no. Packed her bags that night. The words dropped heavy, splashing into the space between us, ripples of shared ache. Her voice cracked on the edge, a whisper of wind through bare branches. I reached across instinctively, my hand covering hers. Rough barista palm on her smooth artist's fingers. Skin to skin, pulse to pulse. I'm sorry. That's brutal. My thumb traced a small circle, unthinking, but she didn't pull away. Instead, her breath hitched. A soft inhale that echoed in my ears louder than the rain pattering the window. It's been a year of ghosts, she murmured, eyes locking on mine, the green depths swirling with unshed tears. But today feels different, like maybe the universe is winking. The air thickened, charged like the moment before a storm breaks. Outside, a street vendor's cart rattled by, the sizzle of pretzels frying faint through the glass, but in here it was just us. Two women adrift in a sea of red hearts, hands entwined, breath sinking in the quiet hum of possibility. I didn't know it then, but that touch was the hook, reeling me into depths I never planned to dive. As the afternoon wore on, conversation flowed like the East River at high tide, effortless, pulling us under. Mia sketched while we talked, her pencil whispering across paper, capturing snippets. The curve of my jaw in quick lines, the steam from a forgotten cup curling like smoke signals. Laughter bubbled up unexpected, her imitating a client's absurd request for edible fonts, me recounting the time a customer demanded decaf adrenaline. But beneath it currents tugged. Stolen glances that lingered, knees brushing under the table with a spark that made my skin hum. Marco called me back twice, but I dragged my feet, reluctant to sever the thread. When her phone buzzed, a reminder for some meeting, she sighed, long and weary, the sound carrying the weight of obligations. Gotta run. But this was nice. Unexpected nice. She stood, slinging her bag, but paused, fishing a business card from her pocket. Crisp white stock, embossed with swirling letters. Mia Harlow, freelance designer. Text me. It wasn't a question, more a plea wrapped in confidence. Her eyes searched mine, hopeful, haunted. Count on it. I took the card, fingers grazing hers again, that electric hum lingering like aftershock. She left with a wave, the doorbell tinkling farewell, her silhouette fading into the drizzle outside. The shop felt emptier, colder, the playlist shifting to a slow jazz lament that mirrored the hollow in my chest. I tucked the card into my apron, the paper crinkling like a promise. Valentine's Day, the thief of hearts, had just handed me one on a silver platter, wrapped in jasmine and green eyes, tied with the ribbon of what-ifs. Back at the counter, I poured another shot, the crema blooming defiant. For the first time in months, the bitterness tasted like hope, dark, bold, ready to wake the dead. Night fell over Brooklyn like a velvet curtain, heavy with the scent of rain-soaked asphalt and distant pizza ovens firing up for date night crowds. I trudged home after closing, the streets alive with laughter spilling from bars, couples arm in arm, red roses wilting in the damp. My apartment building loomed, a brick sentinel with flickering hallway lights that buzzed like trapped flies. Up 3 flights, key scraping in the lock, the door creaked open to silence. My room made out on some Tinder adventure, leaving the space echoing with absence. I kicked off my boots, the thud muffled by the threadbare rug, and collapsed onto the couch, a sagging beast of faded plaid that smelled faintly of spilled Merlot from better nights. The card from Mia burned in my pocket, edges soft from my thumb's absent worry. Pull it out. Text? Or let the moment dissolve like sugar in cold brew. My phone screen glowed accusingly. 9:47 p.m. Too late for casual. Too early for regret. The fridge hummed as I rummaged for leftovers. Half a burrito from last week's fiesta, cold and congealing. Microwave whirred, a lonely timer ticking down, and I ate standing at the counter, the tortillas spice sharp on my tongue, chasing away the coffee grounds still lodged in my teeth. Sarah's ghost flickered, her voice teasing me about my endless shifts, her hand on my thigh during movie nights on this very couch. I shoved the memory down, washing it with tap water that tasted metallic. Sleep wouldn't come. I paced the living room, floorboards groaning under socked feet, the city's pulse throbbing through the walls, sirens wailing like broken hearts, a neighbor's TV murmuring rom-com dialogue. Finally, at midnight, I caved. Fingers trembling, I typed. Made it home. That mocha didn't lie, spicy wake-up achieved. How's the deadline, dragon? Send. The whoosh echoed in the quiet, a leap off a cliff. Minutes stretched like taffy, then buzz. Slayed it. Barely. Your wreck saved me, now craving more spice. Brunch tomorrow? Neutral ground, no chocolate coercion. Heart emoji. Casual. Dangerous. I grinned into the dark, teeth flashing white in the phone's glow. Deal. Brew Haven 11? I'll hook you up with the good stuff. Her reply pinged instant. It's a date. Wait, is it? Smirking face, heat flooded my face, cheeks burning as if she could see. Your call, Harlow. Sleep came then, fitful dreams tangled with green eyes and steaming cups, her laugh a melody weaving through steam clouds. Morning cracked open gray, clouds hanging low like unspoken doubts. I showered fast, water pounding my shoulders like insistent questions. What if she's just being nice? What if I'm reading steam for smoke? Towel-dried curls twisted into a loose bun. I chose jeans that hugged without trying, a soft green sweater that echoed her eyes, subconscious sabotage. The mirror lied. I looked hopeful, flushed, alive in a way that terrified. Brewhaven opened at 7, but I arrived at 10:30, nerves jangling like loose change. Marco raised an eyebrow over his crossword. Back already? Must be love. I swatted him with a rag, the snap cracking the air. Or caffeine withdrawal. Mind the fort. The shop filled slow, Saturday stragglers hung over and hazy, nursing Americanos like antidotes. I fiddled with the playlist, cueing Norah Jones for her husky vulnerability, the saxophone sighing through speakers. At 11:05 the bell tinkled, and there she was, Mia, windswept from the walk, coat dusted with mist, carrying a paper bag that crinkled invitingly. Elena. My name on her lips. Warm, deliberate, like a secret shared. She slid the bag across the counter. Peace offering. Croissants from that French spot on Atlantic, almond pain chocolate. Figured we could picnic here. We claimed her table from yesterday, the window seat bathed in diffused light, rain tapping a staccato rhythm on the pane. Bites of flaky pastry flaked onto napkins, buttery richness melting on tongues, crumbs scattering like confetti from a shy celebration. Conversation danced. Her childhood in Ohio cornfields, trading snow forts for city grit. My Puerto Rican roots in the Bronx, Abuelitas eras con Gandal's steaming Sundays, the pull of two worlds in my blood. But New York, she mused, licking chocolate from her thumb, the gesture innocent yet igniting something low in my belly. It's chaos. Beautiful, brutal. Kinda like love, huh? I swallowed, throat dry despite the latte. Yeah. You dive in blind, hope you surface breathing. Our knees touched under the table, accidental? Neither moved. The contact hummed, a live wire. She leaned back, eyes tracing my face like she was sketching it anew. Tell me something real, Elena. What's the wilted rose mean? Her gaze flicked to my collarbone, sweater shifted just enough. Vulnerability clawed up, but her steadiness anchored. X left me wilted too. Inked it to remember. Fading doesn't mean dead. Breath caught, the admission hanging raw as exposed roots. Mia's hand found mine across the crumbs, fingers interlacing slow, deliberate. Not dead. Just waiting for rain. Her thumb stroked my knuckles, soft circles sending shivers up my arm. The rain outside intensified, drumming harder, mirroring the pound in my chest. We lingered till the lunch crowd swelled, her sketches piling up. Abstract hearts cracked open, spilling color. When she stood to leave, reluctance shadowed her eyes. Gallery opening tonight. In Chelsea. Come. No pressure. Just art, wine escaping the holiday hangover. I hesitated, the word yes bubbling urgent. I'd like that. Her smile bloomed, full and unguarded, lighting the dim corner. Evening descended electric. I changed 3 times, jeans too casual, dress too desperate, settling on black pants, silk blouse unbuttoned just so, curls loose and wild. The subway rattled me to Manhattan. Cars screeching on wet tracks, bodies pressed close in the humid car, strangers' breaths mingling with mine. Chelsea's galleries glowed like beacons, white walls stark against night, the air thick with perfume and pretension. I spotted her across the room, Mia in emerald velvet that hugged her frame, hair pinned with a careless clip, laughing with a cluster of artsy types. Our eyes met through the crowd, a magnetic pull. She excused herself, weaving toward me, glass of red in hand, the liquid swirling like unspoken desire. You came. Relief in her voice, soft as the jazz quartet murmuring in the corner. Wouldn't miss it. We clinked glasses, wine tart on my tongue, warming veins. The exhibit pulsed. Canvases splashed with emotion. Figures entwined in shadow, colors bleeding like tears. We wandered, shoulders brushing, commentary flowing. Her insights sharp, my reactions gut deep. At one piece, a lover's embrace fractured by light. She paused, voice low. Reminds me of us. Wait, is there an us? The question hung, the quartet's bass thrumming low. I turned, cupping her cheek. Smooth, warm freckles like stars under my thumb. If you'll have me. Then I kissed her. Soft at first, tentative, lips brushing like whispers. She melted in, hand-fisting my blouse, the world narrowing to her taste, wine and jasmine breath mingling hot and sweet. Applause? No, just our hearts roaring. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, laughter bubbling breathless. Happy Valentines, she murmured, eyes shining. But as the night deepened, shadows crept. A text on her phone, ignored at first, then insistent. She glanced, face tightening. Work. Always. But something else flickered. Guilt? Fear. We left arm in arm, the city a blur of neon and rain. At my stop, she kissed me again, deeper, hands roaming urgent. Tomorrow. Promise in her grip. Tomorrow. But as the train pulled away, doubt slithered in, her phone's glow haunting a crack in the bloom. The next week blurred into a fever dream of stolen moments, each one a brushstroke adding color to my grayscale world. Mornings at Brew Haven started with her texts, witty, warm, pinging like sunlight through blinds. Dreamt of lattes and curls. Make mine extra hot? Winking face, I'd grin behind the counter, crafting her order with extra care. Heart fluttering as she breezed in, coat shedding raindrops like tears of joy. Our fingers would linger on the cup, a ritual touch that sent sparks skittering up my spine, the shop's hum fading to white noise. Afternoons bled into her studio in Williamsburg, a loft cluttered with sketches pinned like butterflies to brick walls, the air thick with turpentine and takeout Thai. We'd sprawl on her rug, a thrift store Persian faded to whispers of crimson, sharing pad see-ew from greasy cartons, chopsticks clacking soft against porcelain. Conversation meandered like the East River. Her first crush on a camp counselor, freckled and forbidden. My teenage fumblings in Bronx basements, bass thumping from parties while hands explored in the dark. Laughter echoed off exposed beams, but pauses deepened, her head on my shoulder, breath syncing with mine, the rise and fall a tide pulling us closer. Nights were ours, reckless and raw. We'd wander Greenpoint streets, fairy lights strung like constellations over dive bars, the air crisp with wood smoke from food trucks. One evening, under a canopy of bare branches in McCarran Park, snow flurried tentative, first of the season, flakes catching in her hair like diamonds. I pulled her close, noses bumping, gloves muffling the clutch of hands. Your trouble, Harlow, I whispered, lips grazing her ear, the words fogging the air. Her reply. A kiss that tasted of mulled wine from the vendor nearby, spicy and heady, her body arching into mine with a sigh that unraveled me. We tumbled home to my place, doors slamming shut on the world, coats shedding in a trail to the bedroom. Skin on skin, her freckles mapping constellations across my chest, my fingers tracing the curve of her hip, tattooed rose blooming under her touch. Gasps punctuated the quiet, sheets twisting like vines, the headboard tapping a rhythm against the wall. Afterward, tangled and spent, her heartbeat thrummed against my palm, steady as a metronome, lulling me to sleep with the scent of her, jasmine and sweat home. But fissures formed, subtle at first, like cracks in fine china. Her phone, always buzzing, screen lighting her face in the dark with names I didn't know. Jordan, Alex, blurred contacts that she silenced with a quick swipe and a murmured client. I'd wake to her pacing the kitchen at 3 a.m., bare feet padding on linoleum, voice low on calls. I know, but not now. The words hung incomplete, stirring unease in my gut like undigested espresso. One Thursday, post-shift, I met her at a Soho cafe, chic spot with velvet banquettes and overpriced matcha. She arrived flushed, hair disheveled, eyes darting. Rough day, she said, sliding in beside me, thigh pressing mine under the table. A anchor or a distraction? We ordered, her a flat white, me a courtadou, the porcelain clinking as we toasted to us, but her laugh rang forced, edges frayed. As foam hearts dissolved in her cup, she opened up, halting. Remember that proposal? It wasn't just a no. We had plans. House in the suburbs, the whole picket fence lie. I bailed after, dove into work to forget. But lately, her voice trailed, fingers twisting a napkin to shreds, paper snowing onto the saucer. Lately, I prompted, hand on her knee, the denim warm under my palm. Eyes meeting mine, green depths stormy. Lately it's you. Real. Terrifying. She leaned in, forehead to mine, breath mingling minty and raw. The cafe buzzed around us. Forks scraping plates, barista calling orders, but we were island breath sinking in the hush. I kissed her there, public and unapologetic, lips soft against the world's indifference. She melted, a whimper escaping, hand cupping my neck. Applause? No, just a barista's knowing smile as we broke apart, flushed and foolish. That night back at her loft, passion ignited fierce. Candles guttering on the windowsill, wax dripping like tears, shadows dancing on walls as bodies collided. Her nails raked my back, leaving trails of fire, my name a chant on her lips, broken by gasps that echoed off the high ceiling. Elena! God, Elena! Climax crashed like waves on jagged rocks, leaving us wrecked, limbs entwined, breaths ragged in the afterglow. But dawn brought the shadow. I woke to her side empty, sheets cool. Kitchen light spilled. Coffee brewing with a gurgle that mocked domesticity. She stood at the counter, mug steaming, back rigid. Couldn't sleep, she said, not turning, voice thick as if swallowing stones. I wrapped arms around her from behind, chin on her shoulder. Inhaling jasmine faded to exhaustion. Talk to me. Silence stretched, broken only by the drip of the pot. Then, Jordan's my ex. She's persistent. Showing up at gigs, texts about what we had. The words landed heavy, a stone in still water. I blocked her months ago, but Valentine stirred it up. She's in town. Jealousy twisted, sharp as a paring knife, irrational. Given our newness but visceral. And my voice steady but grip tightened on her waist. Mia turned, eyes pleading. And nothing. It's over. But it drags up the why I couldn't commit then. Fear, I guess. Of losing myself. Her hand cupped my face, thumb tracing my lip, tender. With you. It's different. Scary different. I nodded, swallowing the lump, pressing a kiss to her palm, salt tang of skin, pulse fluttering. We're both scared. That's the point. We made love again, slow this time on the kitchen floor. Cold tiles biting knees, but her body warm arch under mine. Sighs mingling with the coffee's aroma. A brew of desperation and devotion. Days blurred sweeter. A graffiti tour in Bushwick, her sketching tags while I snapped photos, flashes popping like fireworks. Movie night at an indie theater, her head on my lap during a lesbian rom-com. Tears tracking silent down her cheek as credits rolled, my fingers combing blonde waves. Intimacy deepened, her vulnerability in pillow talk, admitting panic attacks that clawed like thorns. My confessions of family rifts, abuelita's rosaries clacking disapproval over my choices. Yet the phone buzzed on, Jordan's shadow lengthening. One night, post-dinner at a hole-in-the-wall taqueria, tortillas steaming with carnitas spice, she confessed. Saw her today. Outside my building. Begged for coffee, closure. Mia's fork paused midair. Salsa dripping red like blood. My stomach nodded, the lime's tang souring. And you said? No. Firm but eyes flickered. Guilt? Temptation? Told her we're done. But it rattled me. She reached for my hand across the scarred wood table, squeeze urgent. You're it, Elena. Believe that. I did mostly. We left arm in arm, the night air biting, streetlights haloing our steps. But doubt seated, a whisper in the wind. How deep do roots go before they tangle? Climax brewed that weekend. A gallery crawl in Dumbo. Warehouses reborn as art havens. The East River glittering under bridges like strung jewels. We dressed up. Me in a velvet jacket thrifted from Beacon's closet. Her in a slip dress that whispered against thighs. Wine flowed, Merlot deep as secrets, loosening tongues amid sculptures of twisted metal. Lovers frozen in bronze embrace. Halfway through, her phone lit. Jordan. Again. Mia silenced it, but tension coiled in her shoulders, a bowstring pulled taut. Ignore it, I murmured, hand on her low back, fingers splaying possessive. She nodded, but distraction shadowed her eyes. Later, by a kinetic installation, gears whirring like frantic hearts, she pulled me into an alcove, lips crashing hungry, hands roaming desperate under fabric. Need you, she gasped against my neck, teeth grazing pulse point. We kissed till breathless, the mechanical grind masking our moans, world reduced to heat and haste. But as we emerged, flushed and laughing, there she was, Jordan. Tall, brunette, exuding lawyer-sharp poise in a trench coat, eyes locking on Mia like a claim staked. "We need to talk." Voice cool but undertone steel. Mia's hand tightened in mine, knuckles white. "Not now. Not ever." But the air crackled, charged with unfinished business. I stood frozen, heart hammering, the river's lap faint through walls, a tide turning. The alcove's shadows clung like smoke as Jordan's words sliced the air, her stance unyielding, a statue carved from old wounds. Mia's grip on my hand turned vice-tight, nails biting crescents into my palm, pain grounding a silent scream. The gallery's hum receded, laughter tinkling like shattered glass, gears of the installation grinding relentless, a metronome to my mounting dread. Jasmine soured in my nostrils, mixing with the metallic tang of fierce sweat under my arms. "Elena, this is Jordan," Mia said, voice strained, a wire pulled to snapping. "Jordan, Elena." Names dropped like stones into abyss, ripples spreading unease. Jordan's eyes flicked to me, assessing, cool green sharper than Mia's, lips curling in a smile that didn't reach. Practiced, predatory. The new muse? Charmed. Her handshake firm, lingering, a challenge masked as courtesy. Up close, she smelled of Chanel No. 5. Expensive, invasive, clashing with our shared warmth. I pulled back, smile brittle. "Likewise." Words clipped, throat dry as if I'd swallowed sand. The room spun slow. Patrons swirling past in elegant blurs, wine glasses catching light like distant stars mocking our constellation's fracture. Mia's jaw clenched, color draining from freckles. "We're leaving." She tugged me toward the exit, steps clipped on polished concrete, but Jordan followed, heels clicking pursuit. "Mia, 5 minutes. For old times." Outside, Dumbo's night bit cold. Wind whipping off the river, carrying salt and regret, skyscrapers twinkling indifferent across the water. We paused under a scaffold, shadows striping faces like barcode secrets. Mia whirled on Jordan, eyes flashing. "What part of over confuses you? It's been a year, move on." Jordan's laugh, hollow, echoing off brick. "Move on? You ghosted me after I poured my soul out. Proposed, remember? And you ran." Voice rising, cracking on the edge, raw as peeled nerve. "Now you're playing house with her." Gesture at me, dismissive wave that ignited fury in my veins. "Hey," I stepped forward, chest tight, but Mia's arm barred me, gentle yet firm. "Stop." Mia's command to both, breath heaving visible in the chill. "Jordan, it was never about you lacking. It was me. Scared shitless of cages, even pretty ones. To me softer. Elena, wait inside. Please." But loyalty rooted me, boots planted. "Not without you." Defiance in my chin's lift, heart pounding war drum. Jordan scoffed, eyes narrowing. "Protector already? Cute. But she always did love the damsel role. Venom-laced sweet, a poison dart." Mia's flinch visible, shoulders hunching. "Enough." She advanced on Jordan, inches apart, breaths fogging between. "You want closure? Here, I loved you. Truly. But I couldn't breathe in that future. With Elena. I can." Voice breaking, tears glinting unshed, moonlight silvering her waves. Jordan's facade cracked, lips trembling, hands fisting coat lapels. "You think this is easy? Watching you glow like that." Whisper now, defeated, the fight leaching out like air from punctured tire. She glanced at me, appraisal softening to resignation. "Take care of her. She breaks easy." Then she turned, heels echoing retreat into night, silhouette swallowed by alley shadow. Silence descended, heavy as snowfall. River lapping soft, distant horn blaring mournful. Mia sagged against me, body quaking, face buried in my neck. "I'm sorry," muffled sob, hot against skin. "God, Elena, I'm so sorry." I held her, arms steel bands, rocking gentle as if soothing storm. "Shoo. It's okay." But inside, turmoil churned. Trust shaken like snow globe, flakes obscuring view. We stood eons, wind whispering through struts, until shivers racked her frame. Cab, I murmured, thumb stroking her back, circles soothing. She nodded, pulling away. Eyes red-rimmed but smile tentative, fragile bloom. Ride home silent, her head on my shoulder. City lights streaking windows like comet tails. At her loft door clicked shut, we shed layers. Coats pooling on floor like shed skins. No words, just touch. Fingers unbuttoning slow. Lips mapping apologies on collarbones. Breaths hitching in harmony. Bed claimed us tender. Her atop, straddling hips. Hands pinning wrists, playful yet possessive. Blonde curtain veiling faces as she rocked. Sighs spilling like confessions. Mine, she gasped, eyes locked, green fire. Climax built languid, waves cresting soft. Leaving us adrift in sweat-damp sheets. Limbs tangled, hearts sinking erratic. Morning brought clarity's edge. Sun slicing blinds. Gilding dust motes in golden dance. Coffee brewed, aroma curling domestic. We sat cross-legged on the bed. Mugs steaming between. Talk, I said, voice steady though pulse raced. Mia sipped, wincing at heat, then sat down. Jordan was safe, predictable. Proposed because it felt right on paper. But with you it's wild, Elena. Unscripted. Terrifies me. Hand found mine, interlacing fingers, pulse thrumming shared. I ended it for good last night. Blocked everywhere. Promise. Relief flooded, warm as sunlight on skin, but residue lingered, scar tissue tender. I believe you. And I did, mostly, trust rebuilding brick by brick. We sealed it with kiss, lazy lingering tongues tracing truths. Weeks wove tighter. Joint shifts at Brew Haven, her perched on stool sketching while I frothed, patrons cooing over the cute couple. Weekends hiking Prospect Park, leaves crunching under boots, her hand swinging mine, laughter echoing off reservoir. Intimacy bloomed domestic, her stealing my hoodies, sleeves dangling comical. Me burning toast, her salvaging with jam smears, kisses tasting strawberry sweet. But high tide pulls low, my past resurfaced. Abuelita called, voice crackling transatlantic. Rosary beads implied in pauses. Mija, when you come home. Family misses. And that girl? Church says. Trail off, disapproval heavy as lead. I paced the kitchen, phone hot against ear. Mia watching from couch, eyes wide concern. Abuela, it's love. Real love. Words fierce but doubt crept. Her faith's iron grip, my queerness a chasm. Hang up, tears hot. Mia enveloped me, arms haven. Breathe. Her whisper against temple, hand rubbing circles on back. We cried together, her for my pain, me for the fracture. Then made love fierce, reclaiming agency. Me dominant, hips grinding command, her moans please answered. Nails scoring shoulders like maps to freedom. Climax loomed larger. Her big pitch. A Valentine's Redux campaign, ironic twist. Rehearsals in the loft. Her pacing, scripts clutched, voice pitching passion. I played client, nodding approval but pride swelled. Her talent blazing, words weaving magic. Pitch day. I waited outside the agency, biting nails, rain spitting gray. She emerged triumphant. Contract signed, grin splitting face. We celebrated at our taqueria, tacos dripping. Her foot hooking mine under table. To us. Toast with beer bottles clinking. Foam bubbling like effervescent joy. But joy's shadow that night, buzz unknown number. Voicemail. Jordan's voice slurred, desperate. Mia? Saw the win online. Proud. But. Miss you. One drink. Delete. Mia's face ashen when I showed. How? Stalked the firm probably. We changed numbers but unease seated, stalker vines creeping. Still we pushed. Planned a getaway. Catskills cabin, escape city's claw. Drive upstate. Radio crooning Fleetwood Mac, her hand on thigh, windows down, wind tousling curls. Cabin nestled woods, logs creaking welcome. Fireplace crackling embers, air pine sharp. Nights unspooled idyllic. Stargazing on porch, blankets cocooning. Her pointing constellations, Orion's belt. Her fingers tracing mine. That's us, connected, endless. Lovemaking by firelight. Shadows leaping walls, bodies slick with sweat, gasps harmonizing with crackle pop. Morning hike. Trail mud slick, boots squelching, birdsong trilling overhead. At overlook, valley sprawling emerald, she dropped to knee, not ring but words. Be mine, Elena. Officially. Girlfriends. Partners. Whatever scares you least. Tears pricked, joy bursting. Yes. Kiss sealed, wind applauding through leaves. But phone vibrated, Marco. Shop flooded. Emergency. Real world intruding, but we drove back buoyant. Hands clasped over gearshift. Back in Brooklyn, bliss tempered. Jordan's text ceased, but paranoia lingered. Mia jumping at shadows, me double-checking locks. Yet love fortified. Therapy sessions tandem, unpacking baggage. Her commitment phobia, my abandonment fears. Voices soft in circle chairs. Hands linked under Kleenex box. Spring hinted, crocuses poking concrete, air softening. Our first anniversary. 3 months since that latte picnic in park. Cheese board wine, her sketching us eternal. Laughter free, touches easy, future sketched in smiles. But climax crested unexpected. Gallery invite. Mia's show featuring us. Abstracts of touch, color bled emotion. Opening night. Crowd thrumming, critics nodding, her hand sweaty in mine. Pride swelled as she spoke. This one's for the woman who revived me. Applause thundered, but backstage Jordan waited. Eyes wild, bottle clutched. You think art erases us? Security dragged her, but fallout quaked. Mia shattered, sobbing in my arms. Why can't she let go? We fled to loft, barricaded. Wine poured, trembling, bodies clinging anchor. Because she lost. I whispered, kissing temples. You won. With me. Healing began slow. Restraining order filed, therapy intensified. Nights curled fetal but waking stronger. Her head on chest, breaths evening. Love's forge tempered us. Kisses fiercer, touches reverent. One dawn, sunlight gilding bed, she murmured. I found you unexpectedly. Best plot twist. I smiled heartful. Valentine's gift that keeps giving. Summer scorched Brooklyn relentless. Sidewalks radiating heat like griddles. Air thick with exhaust and blooming trash. The city's pulse feverish under relentless blue. Our love, though, cooled the blaze. Mornings tangled in sheets, her legs slung over mine. Lazy kisses tasting of sleep and shared breath. The fan whirring overhead like a contented sigh. Brew Haven became our kingdom. I behind counter, her at the corner table. Laptop open to designs inspired by us. Swirling pinks and golds, evoking flushed skin post-climax. Curves echoing hips in motion. But Jordan's specter lingered. A bruise fading but tender. The restraining order stuck. A paper shield, cold comfort. Yet Mia startled at doorbells. Eyes darting to windows during storms. Thunder rumbling like accusations. I'd hold her then, whispers in ear. Safe. Here. Nights we'd make walls impenetrable. Locks double-checked with clicks echoing finality. Her body molded to mine, spoon tight, my arm steel across waist. Work grounded. My shift stretched long, feet aching and sneakers worn thin, but her surprise visits, bouquet of wildflowers snatched from bodega, petals drooping charming, lit the grind. Marco teased. Vasquez, you're glowing like a damn firefly. Love looks good. I'd flush, hiding behind steamer's hiss, but truth burned. She did, illuminating cracks. One sweltering July eve, post-closing, we escaped to Coney Island, boardwalk thrumming with arcade buzz, salt air whipping skirts, ocean crashing eternal. Cotton candy dissolved sticky on tongues, her laugh bubbling as Ferris wheel creaked descent. City shrinking to toy below. At apex suspended sway, she kissed me deep wind tousling hair. Seagulls crying overhead, murmuring against lips. Up here, nothing touches us. Below, crowds milled oblivious, but descent brought reality. A face in the throng, brunette, trench coat incongruous in heat. Paranoia? Mia paled, grip bruising. Her. Whisper sharp. I scanned, heart stutter. False alarm, just a stranger lighting smoke. Relief deflated us, but seed doubt replanted. Back home, shower together. Water cascading hot, soap sudsing between breasts, fingers exploring reverent. Her gasp as I knelt, tongue tracing thighs, waves building till she buckled, cries echoing tile. After towel wrapped on bathroom floor, she confessed, "Afraid I'll lose you to this mess." Never. Vow fierce but fear mirrored. My own ghost stirring abuelita's calls rarer, laced with silence heavier than words. August brought pivot. Mia's agency offered full-time. Benefits, stability, the dream. Celebration at rooftop bar. Skyline glittering, cocktails sweating condensation. Her in sundress floral as hope. Toasts clinked. To empires built together. But buzz interrupted, unknown call. She answered, face draining. "How did you get this number?" "Jordan." Again. Voice tinny through speaker. "Congratulations. But we both know you're running from real." Click. Silence swallowed, bars chatter mocking. Mia hurled phone. Clatter on metal rail, screen cracking like resolve. Fuck her. Sob wrenching, body folding. I enveloped, rocking amid string lights twinkling indifferent. Tears soaking my shirt. "Police," I urged, hand stroking back. Report filed next day. Station reeking stale coffee and despair. Forms rustling like dry leaves. Officer nodded sympathetic. "We'll monitor." But I said routine, another file and stack. Fall-colored leaves amber. Air crisping with apple cider promise. We leaned in, couples cooking class. Kitchen steamy with garlic sizzle. Her flour-dusted nose adorable. Laughter when dough stuck fingers. Disaster pasta but edible love. Dates deepened. Jazz club and village, saxophone wailing soulful. Her head on shoulder. Slow dance swaying hip sync. Intimacy evolved, trusts bloom. Blindfolds and silk ties, her wrists bound gentle to headboard. My mouth mapping surrender. Whimpers building to crescendo, release shattering her arch. After unbound, she traced my rose tattoo. No wilting now. Full bloom. My vulnerability peaked. Family visit forced. Abuelita's birthday. Bronx brownstone redolent eras con gandals. Cousins chattering Spanish rapid. Mia met them, nerves electric, hand clammy in mine. Abuelita's gaze pierced. Pretty girl, Mija. But heart pure. Embrace stiff, but later rosary pressed my palm. Pray for clarity. Drive back tense, Mia's silence thick. She hates me. No. Fears for me. Pull over, roadside diner, neon buzzing, pie slice shared, fork tines clinking. You're my clarity. Kiss over cherry filling, tart sweet. Jordan escalated. Email barrage. Remember our trips? You'll never match that. Screenshots to lawyer block futile. Mia withdrew, sketches darkening. Thorns encircling hearts, colors bruised purple. Therapy solo now, her unraveling. What if she breaks us? I fought. Surprise weekend, Hudson Valley B&B. Quilted bed sagging cozy. Breakfast trays with scones crumbling buttery. Hikes through fog-shrouded woods, leaves crunching psalm, her hand swinging free. Evenings. Porch swing creaking, wine warming bellies, stories spun, future farms, kids maybe, adoptions whispered tentative. One night storm raged, thunder booming, rain lashing panes. Power flickered, candles guttered, shadows leaping demonic. She curled fetal. Storms remind me of her rages. Confession spilled. Jordan's tempers, plates shattering, words cutting deeper. I stayed too long. Weak. Rage mine then for her pain, not Jordan. Held tighter, whispers fierce. Strongest woman I know. Leaving was power. Lovemaking stormborn. Urgent. Bodies slamming rhythm thunder. Her cries peaking with lightning flash. Release cathartic flood. Calm after. Dawn breaking misty, birdsong tentative. I love you. First utterance, hers soft as dew. Echoed back, sealed in sunrise kiss. November chilled. Holidays looming like interrogations. Thanksgiving. My family table, turkey carving knife glinting. Mia charming cousins with design tales. Abuelita's nod grudging approval over pie crust flaking. Success but exhaustion shadowed, Jordan's latest. Letter delivered, envelope cream, words venom. She's mine in ways you'll never touch. Burned it. Flames devouring in sink. Ash swirling drain. Mia trembled. End this. Plan hatched. Confrontation mediated. Lawyer present, neutral cafe. Day came gray, drizzle persistent. I waited blocks away, pacing coffee shop, nails bitten raw, stomach churning acid. Hours later, Mia emerged, shaken but standing tall, rain-purling lashes. Confronted. She signed papers, no contact or charges. Voice steady but eyes haunted. Admitted obsession. Therapy mandated. Relief crashed, knees buckling. We cabbed home, her head my lap, fingers combing waves. Free, she breathed. Celebration quiet. Bath drawn steaming, bubbles foaming lavender. Bodies submerged, weightless, touches languid. Fingers circling nipples peak, sighs bubbling water. Climax submerged, ripples spreading, afterglow pruned fingers linked. December twinkled, tree trimming in loft, ornaments tinkling, tinsel shedding glitter like joy dust. Gifts wrapped haphazard. Her a sketchpad leather-bound, mine jasmine oil vial, stopper clicking promise. Christmas Eve. Lights strung Brooklyn brownstones, carols drifting muffled. We cooked. Paella bubbling saffron gold, shrimp popping oil, her apron smeared triumphant. Dinner candlelit, toasts to survival. Midnight Mass? No, our ritual. Rooftop city sprawl, jeweled, champagne fizzing. Her in my coat oversized. To unexpected love. Clink. Fireworks burst, New Year peaking. Her kiss deepening. Hands wandering under wool. Gasps fogging air. New Year's dawn. Resolutions whispered, hers. Commit fully. Mine. Trust the bloom. Love-making morning light. Slow, exploratory, her atop grinding deliberate. Eyes locked testament. Release harmonious wave. But winter's bite deepened. Mia's promotion, relocation whisper, LA office tempting. Temporary, she said, but fear clawed, distance a chasm. Debate raged. Dinners tense, fork scraping plates accusatory. Go, I urged, voice brave, heart fracturing. Your dream. Tears her. Without you. Resolution trial 6 months, visits monthly, video nightly. Departure loomed. Airport dawned, security line snaking, her duffel slung. Embrace crushing, sobs muffled coats. Love you. Plane boarding call echoing hollow. Weeks blurred ache. Calls crackling connection, her hotel sterile, sun mocking my snow. Texts intimate. Miss your scent. Photos teasing, silk sheets empty, caption your side cold. Visit one LAX bustle, her hug bone crush. Hollywood hike, sign whitewash gleaming, trails dusty, her hand mine anchor. Night's hotel. Room service cloche lifting to steak sizzle. Then bed devouring, positions novel, headboard banging, wall moans symphony. Return wrenched. Goodbye kiss, airport curb. Horns blaring impatient. Months ground. My shifts lonelier, Brewhaven echo without her laugh. Sketches mailed. Us in frames, colors vivid. Crisis peaked. Call 3 a.m. her voice quake. Jordan followed me here. Spotted at cafe. Police involved but scared. Rage propelled. Flight booked, dawn landing sunbaked. Her apartment, palms rustling outside. Air conditioner humming futile. Jordan arrested, cross-state violation but trauma etched. Mia pacing tile. When does it end? Together rebuilt. Therapy virtual, walks beaches, waves crashing foam, sand gritting toes. Love-making urgent. Shower steam fogging mirrors, her back arched wall, cries water muffle. Decision crystallized. Come home. I begged, airport again but reverse, her ticket mine. Brooklyn's heart. With you. She chose. Resignation tendered, return ticket punched. Homecoming. Door open, arms wide, kiss devouring threshold. Forever. Vow sealed bed. Bodies reunion fervent, scratches fresh, release exorcism. Spring returned, valley echo but stronger. Roots deepened, thorns pruned. 1 year post Valentine's latte, Brooklyn bloom defiant. Cherry blossoms rioting pink against concrete. Air sweet with vendor pretzels twisting golden. The city's grind softened by our rhythm. Brewhaven thrived. Mia's designs on walls now, our story abstracted in ink and hue. Patrons lingering longer. Whispers of inspo floating on steam. I manned counter, curls tamed in bandana, but smile permanent. etched by her presence at the end, sketching freelance amid scone crumbs. Mornings wove seamless. Alarms beep silenced mutual, her lips trailing wake along spine, coffee brewing tandem, her pour-over precise, mine espresso bold, mugs clinking toast to another dawn. Breakfast banter. Her mocking my burnt toast scrape, me retaliating tickle till laughter spilled milk. Jordan faded to footnote. Therapy hers ongoing, letters unanswered, shadow shrunk to smudge. Anniversary dawned crisp. I slipped out pre-dawn, brew haven keys jangling secret, crafting special, heart latte art foamed precise, rose petal float. Returned tray balanced, her eyes sleep hazy lighting wonder. Elena. Whisper awe, pull me bet, pastry flaking sheets, kisses sugaring lips. Day unfolded gift. Central Park ramble. Leaves crunch autumn teas, rowboat lake gentle rock, her or splash playful picnics blanket cheese wedge crumbling. Laughter free, her impersonation tourists lost, me countering pigeon strut comical. Pauses deepened. Bench sit hands laced. Remember that rain? Her murmur. Head shoulder Nestle. Drowned then reborn. Sun-dipped skyline gilding we dress gala. Me emerald gown swish, her tuck's sharp lines bow tie askew charming. Dinner rooftop, stars pricking velvet, steak sear sizzle wine swirl garnet. Toast hers. To unexpected. To us. Eyes green eternal hand squeeze vow. After. Loft aglow candles flicker, jazz low sax wail. Undress slow zippers whisper, fabric pool ankle, skin bared reverent. Bed claim deliberate. Her fingers lace mine overhead pin mouth trail fire. Neck nibble breast peak tongue swirl. Gasp mine arch descent languid. Thighs part welcome her gaze lock permission, entry gasp shared, rhythm build tide. Whispers fill sweet. Love how you clench, her growl ear, hips snap answer. Climax crest mutual. Shudder quake cries harmony afterglow limbs twine breaths even. Dawn next proposal. Not knee drop, breakfast bar stool perch. Ring simple gold band twist. Inscription inside. Unexpected forever. Her yes choke sob ring slide finger fit. Kiss seal salt joy. News ripple. Family calls. Abuelita's blessing gruff. See Mija. Love wins. Friends toast brunches bubbly. Wedding brood summer. Loft ceremony intimate vows handwritten hers. You my plot twist heart's home. Mine. In your green I found blue skies. Rings exchange sun shaft. Kiss applause erupt. Honeymoon Hudson cabin echo. Woods whisper lake lap serene. Days hike trail mud splat. Nights fire crackle bodies map anew. Positions porch swing sway stars witness moans. Return. Life layered richer. Her studio expand my cafe dream seed. Joint account digits climb. Challenges pepper. Spat over dishes clatter makeup bed fervent. Her deadline crunch my shoulder massage need. Parenthood whisper. Adoption talks tentative profiles pour. Hearts ache hope. Ours, she vows belly kiss phantom. Year spool. Gray thread temples hers laugh lines mine deepen, but touch electric undimmed. Anniversaries latte renew, bed passion peak. One Valentine's Eve snow dust street lamp halo we walk arm link her head tilt. Found you accidentally. Best fate. I squeeze. Love's no accident. Destiny brood.